Peace, peace. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever this video finds you. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. Also want to shout out the Patreon family, patreon.com/hoodmystic. This live video is brought to you by patreon.com/hoodmystic. So if you enjoy my content, want to support my content in any way, the best way is to join the Patreon family for as little as $1 a month. At the end of the day, I'm just a man trying to raise a family, so every little bit counts at this point. So I really do appreciate everyone joining me. Just want to say peace to everybody, namaste to everybody, and let's deal with the energy of the day. I've been really looking forward to speaking with you guys, so I timed this video for 9 p.m., but I couldn't wait that long. I had to talk about this energy now. I fully had processed it, went over it through my head, and I just want to talk about it. Today we're talking about Mars conjunct Uranus, and no particular aspect except that. And so since there are no aspects and we don't have to deal with any sextiles, trines, oppositions, or things of that nature, we're just going to simply talk about the combination of a particular energy and what that can mean. In esoteric astrology, or medical astrology, as some would like to call it, where we connect actual planets to the body. And I love this because it really makes a lot of sense to me, especially when you factor in Uranus and the upper glands, and then Mars as kind of like the lower glands. And so the energy that we're going to be talking about, if you don't see this little picture over here, the actual glands is the hypothalamus glands, and the actual testicles, or if you're a woman, you still have a level of testosterone, a level of aggression, a level of, oh Lord, do I know that women can be aggressive at times, but that's neither here nor there. We all have the ability to get up, get out, and get something, like CeeLo once famously said. And so I'm just going to read a little piece on how important the hypothalamus is, and then especially as we evolve in this conversation, as we, get into Yellow Magic, the part 2, it all aligns. And so I'm either forcing the issue, or the issue is forcing itself upon me. But, the stream of consciousness and the ability to connect conversation to conversation, I'm surprised at it myself. And, I appreciate people on multiple levels who follow along with this work, but the main reason that I appreciate you is because you bear witness to the things that we discuss and how they manifest not only in our personal lives, but also in the collective. So this energy is another one of those things that we can kind of get up on, and serious things that I want to talk about, a whole host of different things that I want to talk about, including the card of the day, and also anybody that wants to join me along in the notes, feel free. But for those of us not joining me on with the notes, I just want to read this little paragraph. The hypothalamus is located immediately beneath the thalamus. It is part of the limbic system, and although quite small and weighing only 4 grams, it is where the states of mind are expressed, be it the worldly mind, the wordless awareness mind, or the Buddha mind. And that's interesting because that's what we're going to be talking about. It plays a role in almost all aspects of our behavior, including eating, sexual activity, which we'll be discussing in this build, sleep, body temperature, mood. We'll be talking about that as well, with the emotions, internal secretion, and movement ultimately. And so we all have to get up and deal with some level of movement in whatever particular area Uranus we want to really engage or deal with our Uranus. And we all have a particular hypothalamus, and we all have a particular ego. And so the call moving forward, especially moving into 2019, where you can be anything that you want to be. The call is to master the ego. And if you are in this life and you are doing this work, you deal with the benefits and the fact that the people that are around you, whether it be your husband, wife, brother, sister, cousin, things of that nature, since they're not doing the particular work, they're not going to deal with the particular benefits. This is not some Ed McMahon knocking on your door, giving you a big paycheck. This is much different. And so Mars conjunct Uranus, it gives the sense of magic, it gives the sense of well-being, but it's not like a passive sense of magic. It's more of an assertive, more of a mastering, and not in an egoic, I'm the man, fold my chest type of way. This is the really enlightened individual. People have many different definitions on what they view as enlightenment. My personal definition of enlightenment is the awareness of the spark that is you, that is in control of everything that is in your surroundings and environments. It is not just your mind, but your super mind or your super consciousness or your innermost. And being aware of that constantly, that is an enlightened person to me. So if one was to fully understand this, then all bets are off. And when all bets are off, what would seem like a good thing, a comfort, you know, society at large, is really built off of colonialism, and colonialism is built off Jacote. That's Jocote, the Jacote wit. Forgive me if I'm spelling that wrong, but the wit. We live in a society that has conditioned a multitude of people to acquiesce to a small number of officers or leaders. So whether you feel that's right, that's cool. But if you feel that's wrong, then that looks like a form of revolt. That looks like a form of disrupting the status quo. And certain people don't want that to happen. But then you have to always understand that it is you who is doing the work. It is you who is awakening to the true you. And so we want to bring up the hypothalamus because when we speak to this particular energy inside real Pisces, we're discussing a subliminal, subconscious undertaking. But we don't want to stay there in that space because we have Mars conjunct this energy. So there has to be some form of action. And I think this talk is healthy for a person who actively engages their Uranus. Maybe you're not even aware that you need to make changes in certain areas of your life because you're comfortable. So that's what this whole thing becomes about. It's not about evolving. It's not about consciousness. It's not about the ancestors. It's not about the crystals. It ain't about shit but you remaining in a level of comfort where certain shit about you is not exposed. So the role of Uranus ultimately is to shake you out of that, to wake you up out of that, and however it unfolds, you either are prepared for it or you're not. That's why the subliminal or the subconscious understanding of esoteric astrology and understanding conjunctions and understanding this, and then factoring it into your world, when you see shit falling apart, when you see shit tearing down, when you see structures that were once so prominent and so strong are now disgusting. I would say that the truth is now coming out. But then again, I'm not the end all be all of what's happening in the world. So Mars, very simply, is the active ingredient that's needed to act out these changes that are happening in this world. And it doesn't have to be malefic. It doesn't have to be negative. It could be much of a mental stability of actively engaging in changes to the persona. The reason why we want to engage in the changes of the persona, because the persona has been given to us. Nobody's persona is real. It's not. It could never be, because every persona has an expiration date. But the thing of us that is real, the thing that we need to really hone into and tap into, is the energy of this 29th degree in Western astrological Aries, where these points, where these energies collide at. Listen into the inner voice, and listening to the inner voice can free you. Attune into cosmic order can free you, and this is all good and dandy until it disrupts your comfort, until it goes against with your desires or what you want out of life. So you got to really come to terms or come to grips. What is this thing about? Is it about achieving your desires, or is it about coming to know self? And to truly come to know self, you have to deal with blocks. And the idea of blocks and the idea of this energy is that, are you going to actively remove yourself from blocks, or are you just going to wait for the energy to come and move those blocks away? And the thing about, if you wait for the energy to come move those blocks away, then that shit's get real tragic. It get real fucked up, bro. Like shit get real crazy. When you don't do the shit that you know you should do, you don't have the talks that you need to talk. And that's just one level. You have family members that are sick that need you to heal them, but you cannot heal them based upon your personal shit. See, a lot of this consciousness that we so dive into, because it's free, for one, you know, all this shit is on YouTube. For two, you know, it makes us feel superior to say, you know, I'm God in the flesh and XYZ. But the reality of it is that you have a responsibility. See, out of this science, out of this mystery school came the engineers, came the politicians, came the philosophers, came the architects, came the artists, came the developers, came the, you know, mathematicians, the astronomers, the war chiefs. Out of the mystery school, our greatest have come out of. We didn't just go into the mystery school for the sake of, you know, to have a big ass couch that people could come over and smoke blunts and drink with you and shit and throw parties and shit. We didn't. No. Do you? I guess on a certain level, you know, throughout life, you have a certain level of slavery and a certain level of subjugation. And then you have a level of self-mastery and a level of, you know, revolt. Because something within you says there's more to you that needs to be discovered. There's more to life that you want to lead. Of course it says that, but then you deal with the reality of life, and you gotta go to work. Your partner ain't 100% with you. Your kids, they just want you for snacks. like it's a whole array of blocks. But the solution, and like I said, I'm not the end all be all to nothing, but I can only give my personal opinion to the solution to blocks, which could be found in the 29th degree of Aries when it is found in the idea of listening to your inner voice, but then differently from just listening to your inner voice. Like, okay, that's interesting, inner voice. I should leave this job, inner voice. That's some hot ass shit. I'm gonna tell people about what my inner voice said to me. Cause you're not really respecting your inner voice. You're not really respecting your soul when it speaks to you clearly. Because you lack that final piece of understanding, which is veneration, which is great respect, deep love for the soul. Above all things, because if you don't love your soul, what do you love? And if it's another person, what do they love, and why do they love it? 10 times out of 10, they love something outside of themselves because that was the thing that would have killed them if they didn't love it. And this is the roots to colonialism. So even when we discuss Western astrology, we have to include sidereal astrology, or we're dealing in colonialism. We're colonizing our minds. So it's very important to separate and stick to the universe and stick to, ideas that haven't been funneled through particular minds and thoughtscapes, and we can just keep it on the universal level, because that at the universal level is an even playing field. And having the universal respect for your soul brings about a different expression. And it ain't the, oh, look at me, I'm conscious. Look at me, on my soul, if ever I was in a deep meditation, babe, I would never be like, you know what, babe, I'm reaching a whole nother level of Zen mode. Grab the camera right quick, take a picture of me. Yo. So it ain't about how people view you, it's how you view yourself. Nobody gotta see you fucking meditating. Like, it doesn't even fucking like the lengths that I see people take yoga on social media is astounding, because it's the same shit that I see strippers do. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, and they getting dollars thrown at them, so I get it. But like, cause if I'm in my zen, if I'm in union with self, cause yoga, the etymology is union, it's just that's all that it could be. If I'm doing the craziest, most freakiest pose, I cannot get out of zen and be like, yo, snap this angle real quick. It's a difference. It's a difference. So when we speak to real effective manifestation, when we speak to really changing our reality, you really want to accomplish something, you're not going to be able to accomplish it with somebody enabling you. So as this energy rises up, you got to look at it not in an emotional way. You got to look at it in a scientific way. And why I say engage, because there's a solution within the conversation that everybody can come out as a winner. But if you want to continue on this, what is it? What is it though? It's following the crowd. It's not loving yourself. It's hearing your inner voice, but not venerating your inner voice. And not venerating your inner voice, to me, is why people fuck up. They want to listen to everybody else but themselves. Every nigga is deep on social media, dropping hot little videos, likes, shares, and I like, shit, I got videos or whatever. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm saying that It's very easy to self-deceive yourself in society when you could self-perpetuate a action of looking at somebody be deep and never be deep yourself. You could be looking at somebody deep, eating some hot Cheetos right now, like, damn, these hot Cheetos is good. Damn, this nigga talking that shit I need to hear right now. And it really wouldn't make a difference. So, you know, until you put the hot Cheetos down and start drinking more water, then you're never gonna reach a level of gnosis. Because I started off this video with doing the work. And all of this speaks to spiritual independence. And that's why I'm the hood mystic, because I'll chop it up with anybody. I don't have a particular spiritual path that I follow. I follow it all. But then I don't follow shit but what my soul leads me to. And I have such a relationship with my soul. We've been, you know, it just be me and him. You know, we've been out on the road, baby. Like, you know, we've been doing wild shit together. So I kind of got a relationship with dude. Like, I know how, if I engage and really listen, then I'll be all right. As opposed to, you know, following one group and following one idea. And we talk about this a lot in previous builds, and it could be religion, family, friends. It does not matter. If you're not fully venerating the self, it's gonna bring a lot of negativity coming up. So damn, I ain't even get into these quotes. So whatever precious jewel there is in the heavenly worlds, there is nothing comparable to the one who is awakened. So let's break that down. I really wanted to talk about that. Whatever precious jewel there is in the heavenly worlds, there is nothing comparable to the one who is awakened. So that's just it. I wish, you know, I could, like, if I had one goal in life, you know, it's for humanity to see that it's more to life than the physical reality, that there is so much to be discovered within you. You have a consciousness, you have a roadmap, so to speak. And if you were to tap into your roadmap, you're getting off of someone else's roadmap, and that shit looks like revolt, and people gonna look at you like you crazy. But you have to understand another point that I wanted to bring up. I touched on this in the lunar eclipse, solar eclipse video, the first video that I did for 2019. And one of the themes in that article was TLC, tender loving care, because I knew that major changes were going to come about in this year, and I know those changes aren't to be just ripped open. I want to constantly bring up that theme throughout the year of tender loving care, of slowly having things unfold and addressing things as they come up. And please don't let shit build up. Please address shit. Address things. Another thing I want to bring up. So much shit that I want to bring up today. And I'm like halfway through, so bear with me. I tend to question or wonder, why don't you create art? What is against you creating art? Because when it comes to your destiny, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to understanding who you are, you have to find out who you are through expression. And you cannot express yourself watching Love and Hip Hop. I'm sorry. You can't express yourself being entertained. You're watching someone else's expression. And that's all good, you know, to enjoy other people's expression, but you can't be caught up in someone else's expression so deep that you don't think that you have an expression for yourself. So I challenge you that if you haven't been creating, to create. I don't give a fuck. Like, grab a pencil and a paper and start drawing. Like, start, like, you know, expand your mind. See what is in there, you know. Revolt against just this everyday monotonous, I gotta get money shit. and really tap into what's really being presented to you by the ancestors. And I cannot find that shit for you. You have to find it through yourself. And the easiest way to find it is through art. But we got some more ways to get to the core of, you know, magic and all of that. But you just got to stick with me. Another point that I talked about, Mars in the 29th degree of Aries and Western astrology, it speaks to spiritual independence. And spiritual independence, if you want a tarot card to refer to that, would be the Chariot. And the Chariot is just the understanding that my soul got me. And you might not understand that if you don't have that relationship. But I'm telling you that your soul got you, but maybe you think that your boyfriend got you. Like, maybe you think that, like, maybe you think like your boyfriend is God in the flesh and he really about to hold you down. Like, no. And so I just wanted to talk about just the overall negative aspect to this particular point, which he was the only one that I could pull this quote from, so I just had to pull it from David Icke. The human race is a herd. Here we are, unique, eternal aspects of consciousness with an infinity of potential, and we have allowed ourselves to become an unthinking, unquestioning blob of conformity and uniformity, a herd. Once we concede to the herd mentality, we can be controlled and directed by a tiny few, and we are. I done heard some lies in a lot of shit that he said, but I saw no lies in this shit. Not one lie. So whether it's Gucci, whether it's Bucci, whether it's Poochie, whether it's for Tucci from down the street, if people say jump, niggas is gonna jump. And it's involuntary. But I don't even want to talk about that right now. The card of the day is taken from the Voodoo Tarot and also the Thoth Tarot. Those cards are the Deluge and the Tower. They're the same card, just taken from two different decks. And we got over there the Ancient Egyptian deck. I can't find that deck like in real life. I just be stealing it off the internet, but it's all good. I can still peep the imagery. But if anybody come up on that deck, you know what I'm saying, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. But yeah. Another thing that I want to bring up with this tower, and I like the Voodoo Tarot's version of this more than I like the Thoth Tarot deck. Only reason because it's a deluge, it's water, it's emotions, and that's more relevant to what can block us from doing shit. Our emotions. And those emotions invade our ego, and once our ego has agreed to something, you know, I don't feel like it, my mood is this, it just is what it is, I'm just about to chill and just watch this TV, smoke this blunt, fuck it, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna work on this business today, like, nah, I'm gonna just chill. And the tower is important if we really want to talk about creation, because creation would be, without the tower, would just be like trying to build something on top of something that's already built and trying to call it ours, but they got rats and shit and roaches from the previous owner. Y'all know how it's like when y'all move into apartments and the people before you that moved in was nasty as hell. Like, how could you really call that your own, for real? So the tower presents a situation where you get to start something from scratch, and that's beautiful. That's what we really want. Except if you got a nice little comfort zone you working with and grooving with right now, you know, that is disruptive. And so I guess, like with anything, you just make a choice. You choose your comfort zone, and you know, you get your comfort zone, but you choose the magic, you get the magic. So it's all dependent on you and what you choose to do moving forward with this powerful energy. shining down on the planet. So another reason why you want to venerate the soul, because the concept is simply resisting the wisdom of the soul. And so if you don't cling to the wisdom of the soul, so if everything is being washed away from you, all you have is the wisdom of your soul. So therefore, what is you clinging to? A picture? So you gonna just follow a picture down a goddamn river, and you not gonna hold on to, you know, what's gonna really sustain you, this idea, this image, all of this shit. Sometimes you just gotta let it all go, because once you let it all go, you see what's really real. See, I know what I'm gonna do, but you don't necessarily know what everybody else around you gonna do, and sometimes you don't even know what you gonna do. So you need shit to happen to really show you who you are. And I'm so thankful that I've been put in particular situations that really showed me I can handle that, but I don't want to handle that. So it's good to know I can handle that, but I'm going to do something different. So I try to move and live my life out of wisdom and peace and things of that nature. And I know that everybody don't understand that. So in the fact that everybody doesn't understand that, you just got to let people deal with their own towers. You know, deal with their own delusions, because it ain't me that's resisting my soul. I'm working towards something that I don't even fucking know what I'm working towards, but I'm up every fucking morning working for it, and not really getting like, you know, $300 a month or the Patreon. That's what's up, you know what I'm saying? But I can't pay my rent. like we'd be homeless if I depended on that. So I'm doing the work, and I know that it's gonna pay off. And I know for a fact that it's gonna pay off even more so now, because I'm getting goddamn confirmations on this shit. But I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking because I've been through this work. I've been through it. So the only thing I could possibly do is help other people go through it. Because when I went through it, man, I went through hell. You want, like, I don't even like the word suicidal, because I felt like anything, like death would have been sweeter. Like, you know, like I can't even put into words, you know, as a person who is sent to heal, what you would have to go through to begin to help others who couldn't even go through 10% of what you've been through. But you've been through it and they don't even understand it. And so you just got to stay vigilant on what you saying, because you know you've been through some shit. And you know what you got is valid. It's just going to take some time for people to catch up. And man, I could speak to that shit. I can speak to that shit. If I can't speak to nothing, I can speak to that. And you just gotta stick to your guns. And if you stick to your guns, if you really, really stick to your guns, then shit is gonna leave. Like, shit can't exist the way that it's been existing for you to get to the level that you want to get to. And that's what the tower speaks to. And that's what this whole Uranus, Mars shit speaks to. And it's a beautiful thing, because if you ever faced with troubles and you know you a healer, you active in that shit. Me and my wife, we was on some, what was that? What was that, 007 shit? I don't know what that shit was, but that was some old Healing Central shit, where I was in one place, my wife was in another place. My wife texts me like, you need to call whoop-de-whoop. All right, boom. I'm calling whoop-de-whoop. Whoop-de-whoop, like, man, the shit hit the fan. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Blase blah. Don't worry, bro. I got you. Click. Talk about it with my wife. Da-da-da-da-da. We get into whatever we get into. Whoop-de-whoop hit up today. What's the situation looking like, man? I'm blessed, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for your prayers. Boom. You know, we keep it moving. But this is the reputation. This is the, like, man. And none of my niggas gonna say, you know what, fuck this shit, man. I ain't about to sell this weed no more. I ain't about to sell this shit, bro. I'm gonna be a fucking healer, bro. I'm about to heal my people. I'm gonna make a sacrifice. You know what, man? I be out here living reckless. I'm gonna take it to like I'll be out on these streets, bro, day and night, not giving a fuck. You know what? I'm gonna devote my life to my family, and not even devote my life to my family, devote my life to my education and teaching. You don't think that I lost people in that decision? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that that shit done just got washed away? Like, I don't even know even what kind of conversation that I could have with people at this point, because I've allowed the tower to just take over and trust in one thing only. Do I have any regrets? Fuck no. Would I do it again? 1,000,000 times. I would never ever, if I come back in another lifetime, I don't care what nobody else say to me. I just hope that I could remember this one thing. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. And even deeper than that, love yourself. And even deeper than that, venerate yourself. Venerate yourself. Love yourself deeper than anything that you could ever love, because God damn it, that's all you ever had. Before anything. We not talking about mama and daddy level here. We talking about spiritual soul level. And if we going to deal at the spiritual and soul level, sorry. If you go, you go. It's a rough world we live in. But in order for us to make it better, we got to take particular sacrifices. And if you're not ready to take those sacrifices, then make sure that the bed is made in the morning, okay? Make sure that the kids have enough food for lunch, and, you know, make sure you get everything done so you can have enough time to catch Ellen. Make sure you get your errands done and the bills are paid. You know, keep that shit going, all right? Keep it going, because you're not ready for the tower. You're not ready for the deluge. You're not ready for this consciousness. You for damn sure ain't ready for no reading from me. You ain't ready for nothing. You trying to keep it going. So my suggestion is, you know, fill out some applications, you know, work on that resume, you know, reach out to some references, make sure that you in good standing, like, cause I don't got shit for you. The shit that I say might not better your life automatically off the rip. You might have to tear some shit down. You might have to start brand fucking new. And so, as we talk about becoming brand new, we gonna dip into this yellow magic part 2. We gonna do a full overview, but a quick overview. If you haven't done this up to this point, you might need to check on my previous video and deal with that yellow magic part 1, or just look at the notes. So one of the key points, I'm not gonna get into part 1, but one of the key points is 4 spots: ego, charisma, laughter, creativity, assertion, dominance. We talked about the ego or the day before yesterday, and we talked about writing down a personal inventory. It's very important for you to do that, and if you didn't do that, then this conversation ain't going to hit as hard as it should have hit. So you might want to pause this, do this personal inventory, look at your shit, get rid of shit, add shit, create your personal parallel universe. You understand what I'm saying? Because let's digress for a second. It ain't me talking to a whole bunch of people. It's me talking to one person. I'm talking to an individual. And when I'm talking to an individual, I need you to understand you got ways that you want to show yourself and be yourself. So let's cut all the bullshit. I don't want you to think that you trying to impress nobody in the chat, because don't nobody really give a fuck. We all here for ourselves. Understand? Like I'm gonna listen to this and I'm gonna be talking to myself. You understand? So that's how it's being put down. So don't worry about your ego in that space. Worry about your ego and examine it. Like, pull it out in front of you. Like, what's you, Shaniqua Jenkins? Like, put Shaniqua Jenkins in front of you and examine Shaniqua Jenkins. Who do you want Shaniqua Jenkins to be? Because if we talking about any level of success, anything that we are trying to express ourselves as, then it's a level of magic. What do I mean? you see it when you see somebody successful and they stride. You know, they got that smile, they got, you know, the hair slicked over to the side. They feel a little better about themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Versus a person, you probably see that same person depressed, girlfriend just left them or some shit. You like, damn, bro, what's wrong with you? Why would you say that? He's still at work, you know what I'm saying? He still did all the paperwork that he needed to do for the day, but something about him, he ain't that same Jaquan that you know. Like, he usually got his shit together. Today he moping. See, he not in his magic, because the whole time, maybe you didn't ever know, Jaquan always been a moping ass nigga. He just know how to act. I mean, y'all got brothers, man. Y'all got sisters, man. Y'all know how the motherfuckers be when they at the crib and then they throw in their goddamn work uniform and they a whole different person. And you like, man, who the hell is you? You go to that goddamn office and just be a whole different nigga. Like, come home, can't wait to roll the blunt up. You know what I'm saying? Throw the tie far as you can. Don't want to see no goddamn tie. You like, okay, Jaquan back. Like, so let's not play games with this shit. Like what magic is or what magic ain't. Cause in the world versus when you at home and we talking about success, okay, let's talk about magic, okay? And so, cause I don't give a damn if you going through something with your relationship and you ain't really doing the work with the relationship, and then you bring that shit out into Kroger's and now you got an attitude or some shit. Man, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care what you was going through at home. You supposed to be in your magic. We in a whole different arena. Like, it's no excuse for your attitude, basically. It's no excuse for your negativity, basically. Like, you've created this aura on your damn self. Listen, sis, I just was saying hi, like on the gang. Like, I was just like, what up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even expect you to just be so mad, you know what I'm saying? Or look at me with that, give me that energy. You not in your magic right now. You ain't in your magic bag right now, because that same woman, you could be in that magic bag, and however you see yourself, it's your responsibility to project that shit. It's not on me. And so charisma is the projection of an aura of confidence. And confidence, lo and behold, is the etymology of calm facere. And facere, or the Latin word, forgive me for my pronunciation, but you can look up the etymology for yourself, is trust and together trust. And if I'm confident with myself, who the fuck am I together with? Babe, can you answer that question for me? Because I don't want to sound crazy. What am I combining to be confident? It has to be myself, right? Or I could be confident in you, but if I'm confident in myself, who am I trusting? Whose responsibility is that? Can I blame you for me not being confident? Because I got to trust myself. So whether it's real, whether it's fake, it don't got shit to do with me. Oh, I don't like dusty ass niggas. I don't like broke ass niggas. So I'ma just give you this attitude because you ain't looking away. Like, I'm just getting off of work, sis. What you want me to do? You want me to brush the dirt off before I come in here? But look, I gotta go to Kroger's, get this goddamn eggs for these kids. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, your energy should not be based on society. And I say that to the sisters because I see that. That's just my real seeing. And maybe it's just Columbus, and maybe I'm the only person that see that shit. Please forgive me. Maybe I'm projecting some shit, but maybe I'm spot on. But I just want I just want us all to take the responsibility to project our own aura of confidence in our situations and create the level of aura that we want that's positive, because it really ain't no choice. It really ain't no way around it. What other aura are you gonna project in 2019 other than that of confidence? I mean, confidence, and whatever you doing, you got to be confident in doing it. I mean, goddamn, you got to be confident in yourself to go to Kroger's at this point, because I know how it is, ladies, on the other hand, where niggas is badgering your ass. You can't even make it to the fucking checkout line without a, hey, yo, what up? Damn, that ass fat. Like, so, you know, you got to be confident enough to even walk out the damn house in 2019 if you got your shit together. And what I'm also trying to say is, don't let motherfuckers block you from being charismatic, right? Because they might feel a certain type of way. Because within your charisma, that's the energy, them is the answers that you need. You just got to know, I'm going to project the trust in myself to be my best self in this situation. I don't know what I'm about to, but they about to feel some shit. And from there, the answer, well, what you going to do? How you going to do it, man? Nigga, I don't know. When I get there, I'm going to just be lit. I'm going to turn up. I don't know. I'm gonna just, whatever it say, I'm gonna just follow. But I'm confident that it's gonna lead me to where I needed to be led, and I ain't about to listen to your stupid ass, because you ain't been doing no work with me. I offered to do meditation in the park. You wanna go to the club, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So the idea, part two, this charisma piece, is to start confident, confident, whatever happens. So this ties into the deluge or the tower. So say, for instance, okay, I want to be successful out here. I want to, you know, make my mark. I want people to feel me. And then you walk into the spot. Hey, how y'all doing? My name Tamara. This is my exhibit. And if y'all like it, just, you know, send me a little DM or something. You think motherfuckers is gonna respond to you? You all shy and all back, like, come on now. Hey y'all, welcome to my exhibit. I've been working years for this shit. Y'all about to feel this? DJ, hit the lights. You feel me? Like, turn up. I don't care what it is. Like, you got a YouTube channel. It's time to turn up. Time to be confident. You can't be on the goddamn camera like not really sure. You ain't really ready. Time to get ready. Stay ready. The next part, which I thought was very interesting, and I'm finishing up. I hope this wasn't super boring for y'all. I hope this made sense and it really tapped into some shit. This last part, I be really into magic, man, because I really used to need that shit, bro, because I ain't the most sound person. Like, y'all gotta understand, man, if I didn't never have friends that told me shit, then I just would never even know, because I was like a real live alien. Like, and my mom, I don't think she like got the book on how to raise an alien. Like, you know what I'm saying? That book wasn't out yet. And so I just didn't know a lot of shit, man. So I can remember times where I'd be in, like, I just remember like being in school and bros just having to be like, bro, like, you know, here go this shirt, or, you know what I'm saying, like, try these pants, or, you know what I'm saying, or even when I'd be like shopping, I just be like pulling out the weird shit, and they'd be like, bro, like, no, like, you know what I'm saying, try this, you know. And I really needed that. And I say all of that to say that I needed magic to get my shit together, because it was a certain time where I didn't really have the bros, and I was kind of out on my own, and, you know, I would make mistakes. And so I really have to be studied up on some shit. Like, how can I manifest some shit? Because I'm like homeless. You know, I need a place to stay. So, you know, all of this type of weird shit, like, just because I'm eccentric, and, you know, I give my last, you know, like, just weird shit or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not a human being, so them human rules I don't be knowing how they really work 100%. So I would have to do magic. And one of the things that really worked was the power of laughter. That was a long-winded way of saying laughter really worked, because I was in some really fucked up situations that, you know, you couldn't never really laugh at. You couldn't. But it'd be like, you read in Peter Carroll, and he's like, you know, laughter is the most supreme energy known to man. So after your ritual, start laughing to clear it. All right, Peter Carroll, because I really need this 250 to catch this bus to go get this check tomorrow. So something gotta shake. So you know, you do the laughter. You do the laughter, and what it really is like, after you do your ritual, and this all ties in, just give me a second. You do your ritual, or you do whatever you need to do, and you just force yourself to just start laughing. Like, just laugh, 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 because what you're not doing is focusing on your result. And if you really study magic, it really shows, like, if you have a particular lustful result, it ruins it. So when people be money spell, love spell, XYZ spell, like, it's just defeating the purpose of magic. You gotta really be abstract. So that's why we do blue magic and yellow magic. Like, of course we gonna get the bag. Like, of course we gonna get super paid and all of that, but we ain't about to just call it bag magic, because that's lustful result, and we be just concentrating on the bag. So just a powerful tool is laughter and humor. It's just a powerful energy, because wherever you can create laughter is over a situation that could have been negative, but you found the overall laughter in it. And some of y'all just take y'all shit way too seriously to really even have a conversation with y'all, because it's like, well, leave that nigga. If he pissing you off so bad, oh, I can't do that. And it's like, well, shit, we just gonna be in this space then of, you know, toxic energy, because you don't want to, like, the situation, you can't laugh. There's no humor in it, you know. It's just so serious and bogged down. And we trying to do some magic conscious shit. We trying to, you know, save the nation. And your ass is sad. Like, man, we got so much shit to do that if, you know, one of our comrades fall or things of that nature, we got to figure out a solution to get bypass all this shit. Now, man, black people done went through all types of horrible shit. And for me to sit back and pinpoint situate, man, I did a deep dive of King Leopold today. Like a real deep dive of that man, bro. And bro went down to Congo on some money shit and killed about 15 million black people. Like, that's just a low ball over money. And that's the craziest shit, because it wasn't like he hated black people. It wasn't because he was a racist. It was because he wanted that bread, and he just wanted to be a billionaire. Like, that was his goal. And like the way that the story was set up, the funny shit about it, he had this prostitute that he, like, ended up being the love of his life, but she had a pimp. And so their whole thing was for him to fall in love. So he ended up giving all his money to the prostitute at the end of it all. I mean, it still ain't funny over the actual tragedy, but it's funny nonetheless. And another thing which was interesting, he used to cut, well, it was the thing about the right hands. If you look it up, you know, they're talking about the right hands, and they used to cut the right hands off because they were so concentrated on the bullets. Because, say for instance, it's 5 white men and they controlling a whole army of black military men or whatever. They need to keep track of the bullet. So if ever they shot a bullet or whatever the case may be, they would need a right arm. So each bullet cost for a right arm. So the reason why so many people had no right arms in that area is because the soldiers were starving, and so they wasn't actually shooting the people, they was shooting animals so they could eat. And so since they used the bullets, they would raid the villages before they go back to, you know, the base, and they would just cut off people's arms. So, you know, all of that shit, like, I'm trying to process all of that, and, you know, still trying to find the humor in it, and there is no real humor in that, but I don't know. Such is life, I guess. And so even dealing with that and processing all that, I still gotta find ways to laugh, because it ain't shit that I can do about that shit at the end of the day. Like, I can understand it, and it helps me understand colonialism even deeper, because I bring all of that to say that the people of Congo are actually suing the people of Belgium right now. They're suing them for the shit that King Leopold did to them back then. They're like, their claims, like, this is all documented, this is all happening like today. That's why I even study or whatever. The reason why that they're suing Belgium or filing this suit is because they're looking at their life, murder, drugs, destitution, it's fucked up in the Congo, and they could really say this shit wasn't fucked up till y'all came and Leopold came. And so right now they're considering what they should do towards that, whether they should give them reparations and all of that. So very interesting. If this goes down, this is going to really send shockwaves throughout the world. So maybe, you know, this story does have a silver lining, but I'm here for it, man. Definitely here for it. But I just want to say, I kind of went off on a tangent, but it's still interesting to think about, you know, to think about a world that, you know, shit, in this country, we existed, you know, even past slavery, past Jim Crow, past civil rights, and past, you know, mass incarceration, which I was a part of. You know, niggas still be laughing. Like, am I lying? Like, people still figure out ways to laugh. Like, you know, it could be a funeral. You know, people be laughing at the dinner. So laughter is a spiritual force, and it really comes at the end. So when you think about death, now you might agree, you might disagree, and the reason why you might disagree is because you're sad about it. But the actual death is a moment of laughter. It's a moment of freedom. So if not actual physical death, it could be a death to an ego that did not serve you. And so another level that even in the New Orleans voodoo tarot deck, I spoke to this point earlier, but I don't never remember reading it in the book. In the voodoo tarot card, there is a particular aspect where it's called the deluge, and all the water is coming together. All of that water coming together is an act of love. So when your emotions pull you out of situations, they're trying to pull you into better situations. Are you able to follow them, though? And so you might think that you got it made, like it can't get no better, but I challenge you that it can be, especially if you dealing with particular turmoil and things just ain't right now. Baby daddy cheating and shit. He don't think you know, but you know. Something gotta change. Like, it's a lot of crazy shit going on, man. What's going on though? Any questions? Indeed. I like these comments. Oh shit. Man, my first money ritual. This is I said this on the live before, but man, I swear I did a whole Mercury ritual and I ended it with laughter and I needed to catch the bus, man. And I swear for God, I found a $5 bill in somebody's driveway walking to the bus. Oh my kids on 7 Azor and John. I swear to you, I fucking caught the bus and got a rodeo cheeseburger, my nigga. On my soul. That's why I'm so passionate about this shit, cause that shit, it worked, man. For real. Yeah, I definitely, that's why I'm kind of doing the Slack thing. That's why I opened up the Slack, because I want to have conversations with people, and hopefully people have conversations without me, and Slack provides that opportunity. The way that we building, you know, on YouTube chat, we could be building in Slack. Like, and I got shit going on. I want other people to link up, because y'all be in the same cities and shit, and just chat like you be on like social media, post a picture, let's hear your personality, post a selfie, I don't care. Like, it's gotta be a way that we communicate and build. So I definitely want to build, but I can't, I'm a lone ranger for real. So I'm just trying to, I need to do yellow magic on, that's what I've been really doing yellow magic for, like the ego of like the team player. Like I just want to have a big ass team and we just all making moves together. Like that's the ego work that I need to work on, because my ego up to this point has just been fuck them other niggas cause I'm down for my niggas. Like I just been really isolating myself, and so I gotta work on my shit too. So I'm not even coming on here being perfect at all. So however you want to see yourself, is really important. How do you want to see yourself? And however you want to see yourself, that should inspire you and move you to that. Like you really need to move in that space. Like you just want to be depressed. You just want to be angry. You just want to be sad. Like this is the life you create. And then it's like, no, I ain't get what I've been wanting to get. And it's like, what if you don't never get it? You gonna die wanting it, or you gonna make the changes that you need to really make? Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Like, can't nobody do it for you, but we can definitely have a community where we share our results and help one another out along the way. And so it's a very tightrope that we walk. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I love hearing magic stories, because like, man, I like witnesses to this shit too, because that's what make it real. Like the documentation of it all. And it's been a beautiful build. I was happy that, I had the time to share with you all. I'm gonna hop over to Patreon and finish up the monthly moon sign readings. If you haven't, go log yours in so we can get these done before Valentine's Day. Might read you up on a new boo or something. uh, Deeper I go, the more isolated I get, and every time I poke my head in, I run back in. Ooh. Yeah, and so yeah, okay, let's talk about that, Rashida, because that's a good point. Because I've been on the same wave, and my thing is psychologically sound individuals, people who can make it through some shit. I don't want people who ain't really on they soul shit for real. It's like, oh, but I'm a woman and we black people, and all of that is good. Or I'm a man and brotherhood, like all of that shit is great. You understand? But I'm down to the nitty gritty at this shit. And so if we can't be open and, psychological with this shit, and like, address our grievances, address our fears, speak in real terms, and not be dependent on each other, be interdependent. Like I'm providing something, you're providing something to get, we're trying to get to the same place. Like all of that is valid. So when you stick your head out and see motherfuckers is still not doing the work, you just gotta go back in and just keep doing the work, man. I'll be on the same shit. And it's just like, it's nothing that I can do for people. You know, I think about it and I feel good today because that emotional pull ain't there. Where recently it was there, like, you know, I really wish whoop-de-whoop would get it together, do what they need to do, and we could be like, boom, and now I'm just like, man, fuck it. Like, you don't want to do it. You don't want to get a shit together. I got to keep doing me. Got to keep doing me. It's nothing that I can do. Like, you know, we going to meet up, though. All the butterflies going to meet up in a tree somewhere. Like, you know, it's going to happen. I'm just, you know, working towards something greater than myself. You know, that's the ultimate goal, but I gotta follow myself and lead the way. Really appreciate everybody joining me. I'll be back here tomorrow. We're gonna discuss Mercury, one of my favorite topics. I'm a Mercury baby. Appreciate everybody joining me for the live today. If you didn't catch this full video, make sure you double back, especially if you're going through shit, especially if you want changes. Like, this is the energy for today. I won't change. I really won't change. Oh shit, but not that change. Not that change. Not that change. I want to keep that change. But I really won't change though. But just keep that. Keep that. Keep that. Like, no, it all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Change is change, man. Follow the soul. Peace. Love y'all.